Hello and welcome to this Rivemont MicroCap Strategy monthly update for August 2022. My name is Matthew Martin and I'm a portfolio manager at Rivemont. Before we begin, I must mention that this presentation is for informational purposes only. These are not recommendations or investment advice. And if I talk about companies during the presentation, Rivemont may hold positions in these companies and may trade on them at any time without prior notice. So as usual, we'll start with a snapshot of the Rivemont MicroCap Fund as of the end of August. So the assets under management were similar to last month at 12 million. The annualized return since inception was slightly down at 7.4%, and that's in the context of a very tough month for the broader market. So the Rivemont MicroCap Fund performed fairly well compared to the major indices during the month. Then in terms of portfolio position, the fund was down to 24 positions compared to 26 last month. I'll tell you a bit more about that shortly. And finally, the concentration was at 51% in the top 5 holdings. So speaking about the concentration, that's the first topic today. The concentration, the portfolio is now pretty much where we want it to be. That means over 50% invested in the top 5 holdings and over 80% invested in the top 15 with a target cash allocation of 5 to 10% as always. So that means essentially almost all of the assets are now invested in the top 15 positions or cash, and the remaining 9 other positions are 1% or less of the portfolio. So these positions are just starter positions that might increase to a full position over time if those companies execute well on their business plan, or we might get rid of them at some point in the future. Next, in August, we initiated a new position in a private company. The company is called Rhetoric. It's a data as a service business. So they sell data to other enterprise clients on a subscription basis. And it's a very interesting opportunity. It's a fast-growing industry, fast-growing company as well. They grew their revenues 90% in their last fiscal year. The management team is very experienced. They have a good track record. They had previous successful exits in other businesses, and this opportunity was presented to us by a team member here at Rivemont. So there's a bit of a proximity to the company that increased our conviction to invest in this one. And so we're very happy to have made this investment at a good valuation. And I'll be looking forward to providing you with updates as things progress. Next, August was a very busy month. It was Q2 earnings seasons, so pretty much all of the companies that we own the portfolio published financial results during the month. And so what we tried to do was compare the financial results with our expectations, with our models internally here at Rivemont. And so we tried to categorize if the results were better than our expectations, worse than our expectations, or if they met our expectations. And so at the end of the month, the results are that 40% of the portfolio reported results that were better than our expectations. So that's good to see good fundamental progress. Then 40% reported results that were pretty much in line with our expectations. And finally, 20% reported negative surprises, so results that were way below our expectations. And two of those companies, we decided to sell them after the results. The two were companies that we were tracking more closely lately because we felt that the financial results might be deteriorating, and we weren't so sure about if the long-term growth outlook remained intact. And so after seeing the results, it just made our decision easier, and we decided to get rid of them. Overall, I would say we're very pleased with the results overall from our portfolio companies, and even though it didn't always translate to higher stock prices, we feel that as long as these companies are executing fundamentally and they build value, they increase their revenues and their profits over time, over long periods of time, the stock prices will converge with the intrinsic value they are building. And so everything's going well, and we just have to remain patient. Now, in terms of outlook, one thing that was a recurring theme during the earnings season was a lot of companies mentioned that they are still affected by inflation, supply chain disruptions, and also labor shortages. So those are the main challenges that companies experience right now. As far as our portfolio is concerned, we're heavily invested in technology, and so inflation and supply chain disruptions are not major issues because those companies are not selling physical products. And so I would say for us the main thing to monitor is labor shortages, especially for technology companies. It's very hard to find good developers because the big technology companies are still recruiting aggressively. Although we think it's getting a little bit better now, but it's something that we'll have to follow closely to make sure that everything stays on track for companies. Now, a few other highlights. In mid-September, the Rivemont MicroCap team will attend a virtual conference that is called the MicroCap Leadership Summit. It's organized by the MicroCap Club, private investment club, online community of investors across the world. And what the MicroCap Club did this year for their annual event is that they invited 20 of the best stock pickers, microcap stock pickers actually, in the world, members of the club, to present their strategy and also their best investment idea at the current price. And I was fortunate enough to be invited, be part of this group of 20 investors. So on September 15, I will be able to present Rivemont, or microcap strategy, and also our top pick at the current price, which is Microbix Biosystems, our largest position in the microcap fund right now. So it should be very interesting and should bring a bit more visibility to what we are doing here. And then the following week we will host the first Rivemont MicroCap cocktail event. Those events were previously called eSpace MicroCap cocktails for those who have attended them before, and so we have moved these events under the Rivemont banner now. This will be held at Hotel Bonaventure in downtown Montreal, September 21st. Basically the event starts with a networking period, followed by a keynote speech from Brendan Chow. He's a private investor and also works in investor relations for a public microcap company. So he'll be able to share his perspective from both sides, from the issuer side and also from the investor side. So it should be very interesting. And then we'll hear from two public microcap companies that we own in the Rivemont MicroCap Fund. And so you'll be able to see the types of companies we invest in and that we like. And finally, it will end with another networking period. So it should be a great event. The event is open to anyone. You don't need to be a Rivemont client. So if you'd like to register, I will put the link to register in the description down below. It's on Eventbrite. You can book a ticket for $5. It all goes to charity. And so it's just to let us know that you are coming. So that's it for the monthly update for August 2022. Thank you very much for listening. If you want more information on our strategies, you can visit the website rivemont.ca, and you can also contact me by phone or email with any questions or comments. Thank you very much, and I'll talk to you next month.